It's possible they're the initials of whoever's doing this. We don't know. There'll be a police guard on your house until we've caught the killer, Mr. Balcom. In the meantime, you should think about what I've said and let me know if anything occurs to you.
I will. Most certainly.
Chief Inspector, message for you from Mr. Rydale. Could you call at his house when you get back to Oxford?
Thank you.
I've been waiting long.
When we last spoke, Chief Inspector, I was less than honest with you.
Concerning what, sir?
The Curzon Company was moving into Eastern Europe. They were planning a partnership with Reed Electronics.
We found that out for ourselves, sir.
Why didn't you tell us before?
I wasn't supposed to know. Harry told me. He was against it. Asked if I'd help him prevent it. I did. But in doing so, I compromised myself professionally.
How did you stop it?
Harry and I found out that James was buying up Reed shares in advance of the deal. Harry was able to have him thrown out of the company. Don't you see? With James gone, Harry was able to block the deal.
So Sir John fired his own son?
He had no choice. It's a rule laid down by Emily's father to ensure absolute loyalty. No director can own shares in another company.
It's a pretty harsh rule.
James was out. The only way back for him was as sole survivor. There's no one left to run the firm but him. He must have killed them. And I drove him to it. A client came to me. He'd been asked to sell his shares in Reed. The price was more than fair. I became suspicious.
That the buyer knew about the partnership with Curzon?
Yes. There was an excellent chance of Reed share prices rising when the deal was announced. So I went to Harry. We discovered the buyer was James. He'd been using intermediaries, but Harry was well enough connected to get to the truth. When I went to Harry, I betrayed my client's confidence, Chief Inspector.
And gave Harry a hold of you?
Right. He would have used it to discredit me. Have me removed as Emily's advisor.
You've been very protective of her, Mr. Rydale.
Someone had to be. I've watched them destroying her year after year. You should have seen her. And she had everything. Beauty. Such wealth.
Beauty and riches, but no love.
Oh, I think she had that, Sergeant. For a while.
Why didn't you take her away when you had the chance?
Why? Because it wasn't me, Inspector. I love her, yes. But it wasn't me she loved. She only told me because she had to. She had a child by him. I was to ensure it received its inheritance. The child died.
Who was the man, Mr. Rydale?
She'd never say. Only that he'd been bought off by the Balcoms. She's come through all that, Inspector. When Sir John died, I told myself it could have been anyone. But Harry, too? It has to be James. And I provoked him. I did it for her.
You haven't been saying silly things, have you, Mummy? To the police?
I don't know what you're talking about. They ask me questions, and I answer them. Nothing more.
I can't see it, sir. Killing his father and his brother.
It makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, but he's not stupid. He must have realised we'd find out he'd been removed from the company.
But we'd have to prove that he killed them, and we can't, can we? He has everything he ever wanted. He can live with us suspecting him. With the whole world suspecting him, for that matter. Call his house, ask him to come in.
You know, we've never considered Rydale as a suspect. He loved her and hated them.
Harry Balcom was his guarantee that the company would stay as it is. Why should he want to kill him?
We could have talked at home, Chief Inspector.
We didn't want to distress your mother, Mr. Balcom.
What could you have to say that would distress her?
We know you lost your position with Curzon, Mr. Balcom.
Had lost, Chief Inspector. With Father and Harry gone, I now have complete control. Every cloud has a silver lining.
Does it?
Or do you think it's more? That maybe I made my own luck? Well, that's understandable. Even if it means you think me incredibly stupid. My predicament was known to others, for God's sake.
You were stupid enough to get caught buying shares in another company.
Well, who'd have thought old Harry would have the wit to tumble that wheeze?
Where were you when Harry was killed?
In Oxford. I'd gone to do some shopping. I needed some shirts.
Can you prove that?
No, I didn't buy any. There was nothing I liked.
And you were in your room the night your father died?
Yes. And if I was going to do for Harry, I'd have chosen something more imaginative than pushing him down a gully.
Your brother still has to be formally identified. I wonder, would you do that for us? Is that your brother, Mr. Balcom?
Yes, that's him.
Thank you.
What's that on his chest?
It's a stab wound, Mr. Balcom.
They said his neck had been broken.
Your brother was stabbed with a chisel. There were a set of initials scratched on it, S.F.
You're a liar. What are you trying to pull, Moss? You're a bloody liar!
I want to go home. I feel ill. Seeing him. Harry, I feel ill.
Lewis.
Come on, Sparrow.
Do you think he did it, Morse?
No. No, I don't.
Then you know we can't hold him.
Yes. But he knows something about the weapon that killed Harry. I know he does.
I agree. He reacted so wildly when he saw the stab wound. That's not like him to...
Of course he did. It was in the middle of his brother's chest. And that's what his lawyer will say.
You can finish for the night. I'll lock up.
Oh, thank you, sir. That's very kind of you. definitely saw someone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
God almighty. Is he dead?
Shot twice, sir.
Is he dead?
Yes, sir, he's dead.
What's going on? What the hell is happening here?
You all right, sir?
What? Yes, I'm all right.
Sir? He was followed into the woods by 2 of our constables. I've already had a word with them.
Well, they were here. They saw this.
Not exactly.
Excuse me, sir. Thank you. Yeah. On a tape. Take up the screen. Can you move the tape there? Yeah.
He was spotted leaving the house. Our blokes followed him into the wood, but they lost him.
Fine. Yeah, great.
And they heard the shots, ran in this direction, found him here. They found a spade beside the body, sir.
You say they lost him? How?
There's dozens of paths from the house to this place.
Well, then the killer couldn't know which path he'd take, could he? Balcom was coming here, Lewis, to this place. That's what the killer knew, and he waited here. The constables say if Balcom brought that spade.
They weren't sure, sir. They said he might have been carrying something.
I want this area dug up, Lewis.
Well, all of it?
As much as it takes.
Well, what are we looking for?
Whatever Balcom was looking for.
Where is Morse?
He's put a call through, sir. He's gone to see Lady Balcom.
What? Isn't he at the scene of the crime?
No, sir. He left the men digging.
Digging?
Lady Balcom, before James died, I asked him if he could think of anyone who might be doing this. Please, can you?
They hurt so many people, I wouldn't know where to begin.
This is very important. He might be planning to kill again.
If I could help, I would. But I can't. You must think me a hard and insensitive woman, Chief Inspector. My husbands and sons are dead. Yet I shed no tears. Nor shall I. All 3 were strangers to me. I can have Lorraine bring us some coffee, if you like.
Not now, thanks.
They were horrid boys. And he was disgusting. He never loved me, you know. Never. Even when we were young, he never kissed me, never was gentle, never tender. It was like the beasts in the fields. And he shaped my boys in his own image. He took my babies from me. Long before all this happened. You're sure about coffee? We can have some cake. And you can help me celebrate.
Celebrate? Celebrate what?
I'm leaving this place, Sergeant. This was his house. I'm going abroad to start a new and happier life.
And the company?
I'm going to sell it. I should have done so years ago. But he said he'd have me certified if I tried. And he would have. But he's not here now. None of them are. I'm free to do as I please. Isn't that wonderful, Chief Inspector?
Nothing, sir. If we even knew what we were looking for.
Keep the men digging, Sergeant.
Sergeant.
Chief Inspector!
Mrs. Cliff.
I have explained we can't allow civilians through into this area, so...
Yes, I'm afraid the constable's right, Mrs. Cliff.
Well, it's obvious you're looking for something over there. Couldn't I help?
Mrs. Cliff, James Balcom was murdered here last night.
Dear God. Then, of course, you don't want some amateur crashing around in there. Chief Inspector, I'm so sorry.
No, it was good of you to offer, but we're having our own equipment brought up.
But one of your constables, Chief Inspector. I could show him how to use this in seconds, and it might save some time.
Why not?
Quickly, for God's sake, get us out of here, quickly! Moss! What's going on? They're digging holes. You have my men digging holes.
Yes, sir.
What is it we're looking for exactly?
I'm not sure.
There are no dogs. These men have no equipment.
I thought this might save us some time.
We have technology, Morse. We have machines for this. God. It's not enough that we're allowing wholesale slaughter on our patch. Now we look like amateurs.
Sir, there's something in here.
And dig it up, for God's sake, dig it up.
Morse.
We've got a break, Moss. Is this a break for us?
I don't think we're there yet, sir, no.
You must have picked this up on the detector, sir.
Who is that, Morse?
I've no idea, but I'll wager his initials were SF.
What you brought me, Morse, is the remains of a male, 6 feet in height, probably 20-odd years in the ground. From the condition of the bones, I'd say he wasn't an old man, but I can't be precise about his age yet.
Could you tell us how he died, sir?
That's for pathology, Sergeant. But however it was violent. His skull's been crushed, fractures to both arms and on one leg. 2 fingers snapped.
Have you had time to look at his clothes?
Yes. And guess what I found?
I don't have time to guess.
There were traces of sandstone, Morse. All sorts of stone.
At last, Lewis, we're getting somewhere.
If we've got his initials, if we've got his trade, he might have been reported missing.
Let's just hope that he was. Where are we now?
1972. You see it? Stephen Ford. Missing persons report filed here in Oxford. Itinerant stonemason, age 35.
He was reported missing by his brother, Robert Ford, 15 Weller Road, Nottingham.
These are statements from the Balkans, sir, all 3 of them. They say he worked at the house for about 6 months, finished the job and then moved on. Supposing they killed him, sir. Well, why would the Balkans want to kill a stonemason? It doesn't make sense.
It does if he was Emily's lover. He could have taken everything from the Balkans. They found out about the affair and they killed him. And whoever's doing this knows they killed him. And that accounts for the choice of weapons. The hammer, that could be just a coincidence, but add the chisel and the initials,